Hi guys and welcome back to the FSL Female Esports League First Asia Pacific Valorant Open Knockout stages. We're into our second best of three series for today between the top four teams. This is pretty much the point where you're in for like you get money at this point. Top four,
Yeah,
you're in with the prize pool.
yeah,
You're at least getting something besides experience, bragging rights
yeah.
as well from this tournament. And we're about to get into game over on the split map to start things out for our
This
first
is
game number one.
this is when you get to this stage, right? This is where the team's like, okay, this is the go out and eat money.
Yeah,
Like,
team dinner tonight.
yeah, this is the team. This is the team dinner money, or this is the you go out and you have a good meal.
Or,
If you
or,
get
or
if,
like a regular meal,
if
you
you get to
know?
second or you get to first, then that's the okay. Let's invest in
Buy
like
a new mouse.
yeah, let's invest in gear and let's invest in more equipment later
Yep.
or for trading and stuff. But
And talking about the teams, guys, in this best of three, we've got M8Hexa over on the defensive side for this game. Haven't yet seen this team on any of the stream games just yet. It's made up of 2 Malaysian players and 3 Singaporean players. Meanwhile, the T attacking side is going to be Team Magnifique from Thailand. Full squad of all the Thai girls. I think No Name Mad Army as well, another Thai team coming through. Unfortunately, I don't think any of the full Singaporean teams made it through into the top 4, but we do see a couple of Singaporean players on some of the teams here and there.
Mochi now holding mid. Wall's gonna get dropped, so Jux is gonna drop him right after that. And now the push comes in. They're gonna try and push Heaven. They need to get rid of whoever is at Heaven and are unable to do so. Catharsis will drop 1, and Moxila will go down to FG. FG will pick up a double now, and the spike will get planted. So they'll definitely get some money out of it. They'll lose the round, but some form of consolation will go their way. So we'll just go through the lineups right now. At the moment, we have M8Hexa or M8Hexa with a Sage in the form of Catharsis. FG is going with Brimstone. Jiro will go with the Cypher. Sync will be using Reina and a Mochi or Mochix. She'll be using Phoenix. And for Magnifique, we do, of course, have Jux on the Omen, C4 on the Cypher, Maxilla on Brimstone, Jane on Sage, and of course the Lil on the Sova. So it's going to be interesting to see how they use that Sova setup. Regular Smoke's going to get popped. We have a Marshall from FG going to hold down onto long/ramp connector. And already they're gonna get popped. Molly's gonna slow them down just a slight bit and make sure that they don't pick up that orb. So they just want to deny as much of an advantage as possible. Sync didn't go for any buy, so she's just gonna stick with that ghost. And I guess she can kind of do that because she does have FG watching the crossover with the Marshall, of course. And now the rotation will start to happen towards B from CT.
Yeah, you're talking about the Sova, of course, Magnifique with their agent composition does have the upper hand in terms of utility. Also, Sova on split in particular, especially because the mid area is so wide and there's that sewer area as well. A lot of tight corners over on split, so that Sova recon ball is particularly useful. Hopefully, they'll be able to make full use of that this game. Already are seeing this turn into a 5v3 situation. Only 30 seconds left on the clock. Magnifique are going to want to make something happen very quickly. If not, they're just going to lose this round. Just based purely off of the timer running out. Down to 20 seconds. I think we are getting word from the team, though, that they are asking for a pause, but it looks like the game is still going to continue right now. Cypher, last person left, is still alive, and nope, we say that, but he goes down as well. M8Hexa is going to take that one very handily, 5v0. Not sure if there is a bit of a ping issue. I believe one of the teams is trying to call for a pause right now for the Marshall. We'll get that out sorted for you guys very quickly.
Yeah, so tech pause at the moment. Something's gone wrong, so that's all right.
Yeah, they're down 2-0. That's what's wrong.
Perhaps. So yeah, so early on they did win the pistol round, but they did get Spike, did Magnifique, so they got something out of it. Second round went into A, lost one of their members to a well-placed ghost rally from none other than, I think it was Sync. Yeah, it was Sync holding up upper ramp, and then they were forced to rotate towards B. Just took too much time, which made them have to rush mid, and of course they had people waiting to take them out as well then. So 2-0 on the scoreboard. Have a look at the economy situation. Looks pretty okay so far. We should see a buy from Magnifique. Or if they want to be super cautious, they can go for an eco this round as well. And then there'll be plenty of money for the remaining rounds. But it seems like they're going to go and stick with this. They're going to stick with the full buy. And it's going to be Phantom and Vandals with full buy basically. And FG is just they're not gonna waste the Spectres and the Marshals, so they'll stick with that loadout. And I think it'll be fine, okay, if they don't lose anyone to the early pick. They do have to make sure that they do not lose someone to FG up on the ramps.
Yeah, usually you win the first round and then you go for the buy on round 2 just to really force your advantage. Round 3 is kind of where things get a bit dicey, especially if you had some members still up from round 2, because then it becomes a question of, do you try to force your advantage further, or are you going to keep your guns from round 2 into round 3, because round 3 usually the enemy team is going to be able to actually buy, so that you might not be able to push your advantage as much. That being said though, we are into round number 3. Still a 5v5. A lot of utility being put down very early. There's their Omens folks as well as their Slow coming out from stage, and it's an absolute bloodbath. All these members are shooting blind straight through the smoke. We can't see anything at all, but 3 members already down from both squads. There's the reload. There's the molly coming out from Brimstone. Spies someone around the corner, and so all of a sudden it's a 1v2 situation in favor of Magnifique. Nope, we say that becomes a 1v1. Sync on the hunt for the enemy Brimstone. Where is he hiding?
Got the spike.
Whew. Gets the kill. Body falls off the ledge as well. It's going to be a pretty exciting round number 3 right there. We saw a lot of the utility used very early on. It's kind of the 5v5, very decisive push onto the site coming out from both of these teams. Definitely very exciting to watch from the stream perspective.
So we have a Sheriff Eco coming out from Magnifique right now. And M8Hexa doing very well to hold so far. We do have an operator on FG now, so he's going to be pretty, or she's going to be pretty happy with that, and she will hold that A ramp alley once again. Nobody creeping up there, and they are going to flash in. Mochi though, through the wall will drop Moxilla, and the wall will go up once again from Catharsis. So she's over there together with Mochi, and they're just going to hold on. They're not going to be able to break the wall that quickly because they are using sheriffs, of course, and then you're going to have to reload, which takes donkey years. And one headshot. He lands a headshot onto Catharsis, who did have shields though, so she will survive. 24 health. And let's see. Flash comes out by Mochi. She'll be able to get one off guard, but then is starting to get hit. Will heal herself up now, and the reply, the backer will come out from Sync. So the reply comes through with that Leer. She has one more Leer to go. She will Leer that, and they will be able to drop the Sova in the form of Galil. Jen Carla will get dropped by Mochi. So great work, great teamwork between the two of them. And that's going to be a flawless round. They've taken everyone out, have not lost anything. Sheriff Eco from Magnifique, and now they're going to be able to do a full buy.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing the Magnifique lost that round. As you mentioned, we saw the 5 Sheriff loadout from them earlier. So hopefully round 5, this is going to be the one that puts them back in the game. If they do lose this round again, however, this would be huge. They really don't want to lose this one. Talking about the reload speed of the Sheriff, I think that's a big point of debate, which is really the Sheriff versus Ghost in terms of pistol. Which do you buy? Sheriff, of course, has the slower reload, however, does have the instant lethal hit shot. But in terms of body shots, if you're the type of player who's not going to go for the hit shot so much, Ghost actually kills you faster than Sheriff if you are aiming for the body. It's pretty much the big difference. But I mean, at this level in competitive play, we are going to see these girls prioritize the Sheriff, of course, over that Ghost. Very confident in their ability to pick up those headshots.
Yeah, Spike planted so far. I know we're about halfway through, so they've gone for the res. And now the ult's going to be used by Mochi. Mochi will push one, gets one flash through. Jux will be dropped as well. Karilla going through around the corner, so Catharsis goes down. Jiro will pick up Karilla, and Moxilla will take out Jiro. So Bomb's about to, Spike about to explode, and Mochi will get that final kill. They'll lose the operator, and they'll lose the round as well, and they'll also lose the Vandal that Mochi had. So
all 10 of them down.
quite a bit of hesitation right there. He used they got the res, should have pushed straight away, but they had hesitation up on upper ramp and didn't want to push into CT. We do have a pause coming out again, so that's they need to restore the video call, which is of course a system that FSL uses to ensure tournament integrity and to make sure that all players that are taking part in the tournament are of course the ones who are playing, and of course are females, because this is a female-only tournament. FSL, of course, great initiative from them to provide a safe place for female gamers to compete, to improve, and of course to enjoy the game.
Yep, definitely, as you mentioned, really great initiative from FSL. Been running the Female Esports League. Started out in Singapore, which is where we're casting from right now. Yep, with a whole bunch of different titles spanning from League of Legends, Dota, and right now Valorant is the first FPS game. But with that, we have unpaused. We are back into round number 6 of our second best of 3 series for today. Bunch of smokes already going down. It looks like Magnifique want to take the slow rotation. Are they going to do a sewer? Nope, it looks like they're going to go through their attacker side spawn instead. Are going to 2-man through the sewer, taking this very slow. So we've got more than a minute left, so time is still on their side for now. Did leave the trap wire over towards A. Also do have 2 onto site B. Already Sage going down. Sage, of course, one of the champions that you definitely want to get the first pick on. With absolutely a huge Sage wall coming up in response. Spike is onto Omen though. Oh, and Sage with the very easy shots after boosting herself to the top of the wall. Right now, Brimstone going to taking that one down and shooting people in the back. That is not cool, buddy. I think picks up the double kill before someone takes her out in heaven and sneakily round the corner. This is why you always check your corners, guys. Does pick up that kill though. So we are in a 2v1. Brimstone, last man standing. Can he catch these 2 round the side? Does get Sova, but oh, that was so close. And the round going over to the attacker side.
Good use of the tripwires, the camera, and of course the cyber cages by Jiro to kind of give his team intel even after, give her team rather intel even after she went down. And she's been holding that B side pretty good. It's just that when they do pile on the pressure with 4 or 5 members of that team, it's slightly harder to make their way in. FG gonna stick with a Stinger because now they're starting to run out of money. Recon Bolt coming through, doesn't pick up anyone, and she's not gonna take it out. She's just gonna wait it out. But she has tons of footsteps, so she's gonna call out to her team. 2 blinds coming through, and a defensive smoke up top. Woo! Absolute firing squad on her, so she's definitely not gonna survive that. Sync though with the Lear will remove some of that pressure and allow the retake team to start to come in. But great wall by Jane Carolina onto CT to block them off and kind of delay them by a bit. Sync will drop one. Jane will have an assist. Catharsis, though, coming around the corner, will pick up a double and is down on 8 health. One slow orb, no heals, and that's going to be pretty easy for Jane to follow up and drop her. So good stuff from Jane with the wall to stop that CT rotation into the site, as well as good assist. Also, I think she's on, let's see, yeah, 3 assists. So that's not too bad, and she's definitely pulling a weight at the moment. So 4-3 on the scoreboard in favor of M8Hexa so far. And even Steven, so if you look at the money situation, it's not too bad.
Yeah, almost dead even on eco, actually, across the board. There is the sniper on the side of Brimstone, as you can see on your screen right now. I'm gonna shoot out the molly, imparting, and whew, those elder skins, man, with that flex. Okay, we see you. Smokes neatly down onto the side already. It's a 3v1 Cypher. Last person left standing, C444 from the side of Magnifique. Spike. She doesn't have a spike though. It's going to.
Does have ult.
Yeah, she doesn't have ult. That was the M8Hexa side that used the Cypher ult just to get some extra information. Good tactical move on their part because Magnifique had just won the last few rounds, especially, and they really wanted to make sure that they won that round to be able to bring things back.
Yeah, I do agree with that comment. Using that ult. You would think usually that you know, using the neuro threat ult is a bit of a waste, but you are correct, stopping that momentum and gaining a bit of confidence because Magnifique were running wild on attack in the previous round, so they restore that confidence in themselves and reset. 5-3 on the scoreboard. Sage and Reyna, they do have their ults ready to go, so Catharsis and Sync, if they need to push aggressively to retake a site, they can do so. FG at the moment with that operator, and Magnifique are very, very sure not to push in. FG really knows how to use her smokes. She's not just spamming them over and over and over again. She's actually waiting it out and spreading it around. Moxilla spots ahead, tries to go for the click with that sheriff and misses. So Catharsis is going to live to see another day. And now, with 57 seconds left to go, C4 starts to kill off with a well-placed headshot onto Sync, who tried to push down ramps. And that's going to help them as they decide where they want to go on this attack.
Yeah, look what Magnifique has been doing so far. You saw them this time with a very spread out approach. Res is coming out from Sage right now, so it's going to be 5v4. That was the resurrection from M8Hexa to just kind of ensure that they have the team advantage in terms of numbers right now. Magnifique has gone for the rotation over towards side B. It looks like a pretty slow push Cypher Cage going down, as well as the firewall from Phoenix takes out the Reyna through that though, as well as the Phoenix waiting in heaven. That's going to be huge. With that, Magnifique are desperately trying to clear the side as they've only got 4 seconds left down on the clock. However, timer expired. That was so close. We heard the sound of the spike
right
being laid down, but not enough time, and that's the second round in a row that's going to go over to M8Hexa. We were just applauding Magnifique for their strategy. We saw the last 2 rounds they had gone for the site A push. That worked out for them 2 rounds in a row. This time they didn't want to be so predictable, so they did a very slow spread out at the start. Didn't quite work out for them, but it was close. It was close for sure.
Yeah, just a bit unfortunate right there.
Ooh, Sewers, sneaky.
6-3 right now. We do still have that operator on FG. And M8 definitely starting to pull away right now. They don't know how to they don't know how to breach mid, do Magnifique, and they're trying to figure that out. And they also have difficulty pushing down onto the main A site, as you can see right there, because that whole catwalk is held by FG so well with the smokes as well as that operator, and of course with his teammate Sync, as you can see right there, who will hold upper ramps very, very defensively. As we say that once again, FG with the operator displaced by an orbital strike, but she will put her own orbital strike on the back line. Will be able to pick up one. Mochi will pick Jux up, and now will get reset because of her ult. Now they need to decide what do they want to do. Once again, we did see Jane with that wall on CT, and they'll hold the side pretty well. They need to break that wall, and they will do so right there. FG has gone up top, put the steam beacon down to see whether they can take out anyone before they go down. Well placed, but really good setup. It has to be said from Magnifique. They had their angles held, they did not waver, and they stood the utility retake that M8 were trying to do. So 6-4, they'll claw their way back, 2 rounds to go, and money is looking okay, A-okay on Magnifique. They can buy 2 or 3 if they get into trouble.
Yeah, Econ's more or less even. The difference in terms of numbers is just because they picked up the team wipe off of M8Hexa the last round, but not that big of a difference in terms of credits. I like how we're seeing Magnifique just go through a whole variety of playstyles. We've seen them 5-man rush site earlier, that, as you mentioned, just very good utility usage over that start. A lot of patience being shown, covering their angles very well, is what bagged them that 10th round victory. Now here on to round number 11. Again, a very spread out start from the side of Magnifique. M8Hexa, they have good wire coverage over around the site. They did set that up pretty well. So you can see them all converging kind of around the mid area and over around a CT. So it gives them a bit of time, so they'll be a bit faster once they figure out whether Magnifique is going to go on A or B. And it looks like Magnifique have rotated around to mid as well as B. Going in for the push though, kind of felt that no one from M8Hexa was there, picking up 1 kill, 2 kills onto the defender side. Does trip the trap wire though, so it is going to be revealed for a second. And right now, M8Hexa just on the back foot, running back towards the site B after spike has already been planted. 3v5 though, what can they do? Magnifique have set up their defense pretty well. Picked up another kill, so now it's just Sage and Brimstone. Oh, gets him from heaven right there. Last member though, Catharsis, is going to be heal herself to keep herself a bit topped up in terms of health. She's trying to go around for that sneaky backstab onto a Cypher in heaven. But are you trying to backstab him, or is he trying to backstab you? Takes down the Sage really easily, and another round going to Magnifique brings the score even closer to 6 and 5.
Yeah, they're not in a good place last round, because if that's what happened, M8Hexa were already pretty low on funds, and definitely if they lost that round, wouldn't be able to get heavy weapons and full shield. So as you can see, they're forced to go with SMGs and full shields instead. So by right, there should be an upper hand on Magnifique, but we'll never know. They go for a full all-out aggressive rush. Juck's gonna drop FG. Here comes the wall from Jane, but that's gonna let through Sync. Doesn't really matter though, because she's blind, and Jane will finish her off. Now 3 on 5, retake C4 onto Mochi up an upper ramp. Catharsis is still there, and C4 senses someone is on the back line, so we'll pop his camera and the tripwire. But it's way too high, so Catharsis can actually just crouch around it and get the kill, and that's exactly what she's gonna do. Big brain plays right there, but she needs to make sure to tell her Cypher teammate that there is one. Yeah, she does. Zero will drop 1, and too bad that they stacked up on the same angle, so it's gonna be pretty easy for Magnifique to pick that up, and we're gonna be all even Stevens when we go for the switch.
Whew. Yeah, and as you mentioned, M8Hexa not in the best position eco-wise, especially after dropping that last round once again to Magnifique. I look what Magnifique did, which was that they knew that they had the eco advantage over onto M8Hexa, and so they knew that if it came down to a 5v5 fight, that they would likely win just purely off of firepower. Very good read off of the credit situation on that round. There was the Japanese train announcement that we heard. Not sure if you guys could hear it on stream. It's a very faint sound, but just like that little nod to how there's the Japanese convenience store over at one side on the sewer entrance as well on this map in particular. Shots going down at the start is going to still be 5v5. However, Omen Spokes being down. Sage going to run through that one. Some Brimstone smokes as well. Reina already getting taken out early, as well as Sova from both over on Magnifique's side. Phoenix last one up, 1v4. What can he do at this point? Low on health, doesn't have any of his skills, so isn't going to be able to have any of these self-heals. It's down to 45 though. Looks like he wants to go for some sneaky. Oh, Sage Rider on the right side corner though is gonna get taken out by Omen, however. And with that, Magnifique are really starting to pull away with this one. 7 and 6. I think that's their third round win in a row. So M8Hexa at least are going to get the maximum amount of loss streak credits that you can get for over 2 streak losses. So it's going to be an extra 1,000 credits per person. But they would have been hoping for more than that.
Just pretty slow setup at the moment right now, and they need to make better use. They need to make better use of that Sova with the recon dot, and so far it's not working out that well for them.
Yeah, we pointed that out at in some of the first few rounds as well, that the entire point of having the Sova pick is you really want him to maximize utility, and how this map split has such a large open area in the middle in particular. You can make use of that, which we haven't quite seen. Oh no! Missed the molly shot. Trying to go for the headshot right here with the Spectre over the wall. Bit sneaky, doesn't quite pay off. Sage able to get some tap damage off of the boosted wall shots. It's going to come down very quickly, however, yep, we say that as it disappears. Right now, Sova does get the nice kill there. Jane picking that one up in response. However, Sage, last person left alive with the spike, and Magnifique make it I think a 4-round streak win with that one. Playing things very slowly, to talk about it a few times earlier in the earlier rounds. Playing it so slow sometimes that we did see that one round where the timer just simply expired right as they were trying to get the plant down. But M8Hexa really need to try to turn things around at this point. Attacking side so far hasn't worked out for them that great. I think also Sage once again on the spike. It's a bit predictable, I want to say, that their playstyle has been so far.
Yeah, they just don't really know what they want to execute on attack, and they keep splitting up. But if you're going to split up, you need to kind of know what you want to do. Now, Catharsis here's Moxzilla picking up that orb, and will come around the corner, get that well-placed headshot onto her, and that will signal that the A side is open to get breached. They will pick up one at mid, so Jiro, great work from her. And now they're going to get pings to come over and rotate towards A side. Let's see whether this Sova in the form of Dalil, whether she can pick up a couple kills. She gets one. So that's not too bad, but for some reason, instead of pushing A hard, they've gone for a slightly more delayed push. So that's going to allow C4 as well as Jane to get into position, and they'll pick up a double right there. So definitely going to stop that early advantage that Catharsis and that mid-break gave them. So they're probably going to... Let's see whether they are going to be regretful of that. Maybe Catharsis can pull it off. 2v1 situation with 20 seconds on the clock. Impetus is definitely on her to get to the site. Now she's going to go head-to-head, reloads at the wrong time as Jane comes around the corner, and Jane will pick up a triple that round.
Yeah, walking into entrance into heaven is not the best point in time for you to be reloading. I think kind of expected the two members of Magnifique to be on site at that point instead of in heaven, probably, which is why she chose to reload then. But it's definitely going to cost them and cost her team as well.
It's just bad habit to reload.
Right here.
It's something that's very hard to break, but if you're in a situation where you're in an active danger zone and you have at least 15 to 20 bullets, you should have the confidence to not want to reload. The only place that you really should is when you're in cover or you have a teammate covering you. If you're in a position where you're going for, if you're in a position where you're going for 1v1, then you also don't want to reload because that reload sound is going to give you away. M8Hexa will go in straight away. We'll pop the flame on top, but we'll miss. The Lil though is up on ramp. We'll pop off the shock dart to stop anyone who's trying to rush. Juxi will pick up one. Jiro with one as well. M8Hexa and Sync will kill two, and that's gonna leave Jane, the last one standing at the ramp connector. Now she can possibly do this. The spy cam though, amazing play and amazing work. That's gonna give away a position, and she's not gonna be able to take off the dart. I don't know whether it's because she doesn't know that she can, or because she just needs to get rid of that danger. But if you don't know, the camera does stick that dart into you, and you need to use the F key or whatever your use key is to manually remove that dart.
Yeah, it takes about 2-3 seconds to remove the tracer dart. I think it was just anti play on her part. She was at about 87, 89 health, and she also had heal up as well. I think she was just intending on going in, gunning straight for the 1v2, because holding the heal either tells us that either she didn't realize that she could heal herself at the point that it was up, or that she was intending to try and 1v1 the Reyna and then save that heal for after, because using it when you're only healing up about 11 health isn't the most efficient. So just a bit antsy, I think a bit over eager to try and pick up the kill onto the Reyna. Doesn't work out though.
M8Hexa has ult again, so quick. And where's FG? No, FG is going to be right at the back, so they're going to pop the flame down, and Sync will drop Moxilla. Jiro onto C4, back on the side. We do at the back have Jukes as well, so Jiro will pick up a double right now, and they'll get the spike plant as well. M8Hexa will take out Dalil once again. Unfortunately for Jane, she gets tagged by the backstab spy cam, and they're gonna know that she's there once again. The spy cam tagging her again and again.
Unlucky.
And it's a bad day at the office for her, but M8Hexa, they'll pick up another round, and they definitely are gonna start to steamroll right now, or at least that's how it's looking. 9-8 on the scoreboard, and money-wise, they are definitely in a better position.
Yeah, also one interesting thing that our viewers back home might have noticed earlier, I think it was the kill onto Breach where he died to the fire over on the ground. I think the way that visual works, so you can of course be overlapping skills over on terrain. So if you have fire on the ground but you also have say Sage's slow orb on top of it, the glassy looking slow surface actually does cover up the fire, so you can't actually visually see exactly where the fire is going to end. It's very difficult to see. This is more significant in competitive play. I think in more casual play you don't really see this overlapping of terrain as often.
Magnifique has just been fake. They've just stacked everyone on A, expecting M8 to do that push, which they used for like 4 rounds in a row. And that gave, this is a free get out of jail free card for M8Hexa, so they'll get a free pass on this spike as well as a bit of extra time as they're gonna force Magnifique to go for that to retake all the way from A.
Yeah, they just need to sit on spike right now, which is exactly what M8Hexa are doing. 5 members firmly on the spike. See Cypher Cage coming down. Good hit shot onto the Phoenix. It's going to make it 4v4. Trapwire once again foiling their plans. Owen gets caught by it. Reveals his location. Jane Carolina right now trying to go around the corner with that Sheriff, but isn't going to be able to do all that much. And the timer on the spikes just going to run out, making that a easy win for M8Hexa, and they're going to even things out 9-9.
Yeah, I don't really like the Sheriff buy on the majority of players that I see and I play with, because it's something that takes a lot of getting used to. You really have to get the rhythm of shooting it down really well. Like, it's not like any of the other pistols where you can just kind of spam or shoot very rapidly. Your timing and how you control the Sheriff, it's something that you really need to get used to.
Yeah.
And you very often need to make use of cover. So the minute you miss that first shot, it really goes very, very wrong. It's not like in CS where even the Desert Eagle, you can kind of semi-spam it and still get away with it.
Yeah, I think the fire rate for Sheriff is something like 4.75. Also, interestingly, I think we mentioned this last game as well. If you're comparing, say, Sheriff and the other pistols, like a Ghost, if you're fighting for the body, actually Ghost has a faster lethal rate. Of course, you go for the hit. Sheriff is always superior. And right now, Jane versus Rain around this corner. It's going to go over to Jane. We did hear the Sage ultimate being used, so it will be a 5v4 after it losing the arena. Looks like the attacking side going to go for a very slow rotation round to site A. About 40 seconds left on the timer. Going to have to make something happen very fast if they don't want to lose this one to the clock.
Yeah, 30 seconds, but plenty of time if they're going to go for the fast one. And at the moment, they don't have anyone holding ramp from CT, so
They're going to have to go now, though.
both Sova, Moxilla is in the corner, will pick up a double, and that's going to be him because FG would drop her. But now here comes the backstab. The Cypher ult will come through, so they know the Lil is up on upper ramps now. They're going to force the reposition of Jane, but Jane will come through and pick up one kill. Jiro will pop Jane off, will drop the Lil, and then Juck says enough about that. So she'll get the defuse, and that'll bring it to 10-9. This game is pretty close, Rera, and they're really giving us our money's worth for this first map.
Yeah, I mean, these were the games that we wanted to see, right? Yesterday during group stages, we did see some pretty one-sided games. We saw a couple of 13-0s, especially on Bind. But today, I mean, we've got 3 maps in this best of 3 that were decided before game number 1 with the coin toss, which side each team starts on. It has also been decided already, and for this best of 3, if it does go to 3 games, we will see Split, Ascent, and Haven. Thank God none of these teams picked Bind. I think it's one of the most imbalanced maps of the 4 available currently with Valorant. I like that the teams did pick the 3 more balanced options. It's kind of what we're seeing, just both teams having very good rounded strategies, whether they're on attack or on defense.
Good blind coming out, but here comes the entry frag from Mochi, not able to do anything. No flashes. FG will follow up with the return kill, and Jux will drop sync like a sack of potatoes. Jiro will follow up, and that will bring it to a 3-on-3. They'll get the spike down. That's good. Defensive smoke up on Heaven, and they'll wall off. Catharsis will wall off that lower section as well. That does funnel them in, though, and Sova will get that recon bolt, so they'll know generally where they're at. And now Shock Bolt as well on the back of site, and luckily for her is going to help her out. Catharsis will pick up 1, and it seems like that wall didn't work out the way they wanted it to. Instead of blocking out, Well, it worked two ways. It did block them out from pushing straight in, but it also funneled them because they decided to hold the site from inside.
Yeah, that was at the end like shooting fish in a barrel. You know, Sage is at the back. 3 of them just rushed past the wall, and all 3 of them were like, if you're in solo queue, if you're queuing with your team, you can kind of hear it in voice comms, my kill, I want her. That's that point in the game that we just saw. Absolutely brutal. And after that, of course, they had an easy time of going for the defuse. They're gonna make it 11 and 9 right now. Spike once again onto Sage from the side of M8Hexa. Oh no! Getting gunned down straight at the entrance over onto Site B in Garage. That's not how you want this round to start when you're down already as 5 and 3. Looks like they're going to stick with this Site B push, however. Unless they're going to go for a slow rotation. They're thinking about it. They're not sure how many people are currently sitting in mid. I don't really have vision onto the Omen. Cyber Gauge going to come out just to block things off, and it looks like M8Hexa going for the 3-man. Will find Omen round the corner. Gets it taken out, and that's the signal for M8Hexa to push it through mid right now. Gonna try and make their way through sewer just to make sure. Looks like they wanna go for a site A.
This is going to be brilliant.
The
She
collapse
gets the
coming in
off-rail
already.
It's going to force him out of position, but she did delay enough, did Moxilla, with that molly early on, so they couldn't go in a zip line and push in straight away with the momentum they had. That elbow strike, although it didn't kill anyone, it's going to delay them even longer. So now they've got 20 seconds, and they're going to start panicking because they can't get into position fast enough. Sova, oh my, she misses the shot now, Dalil, and is forced to go all the way down. But 10 seconds left, and Catharsis needs to get this kill and then also get the plant. And Dalil is able to make use of that pressure from the time and, of course, from the health that, that she was low enough on to force her to come in.
Yeah, really inspired plays mentioned from Magnifique. First, it was the molly to make sure that M8Hexa weren't able to make their way onto the site. And then there was that zoning ultimate used as well. Really delayed M8Hexa long enough that the rest of Magnifique as well could wrap around over to site A and clean up. So very nicely played, very nicely communicated as well to the rest of the team.
Camera's gonna pick up that Magnifique are gonna try and push into B main. So they've pushed 3, and now they've taken out the camera. So Cyber Cage is gonna be used, and that is gonna cut off the the line of sight that they have from B main into T side connector. And the thing is, the recon bolt comes out, so well-placed recon bolt from Dalil. They'll start to push off mid, but the mid break is going to start to come in. Jux will drop Sync, but Mochi and Jiro will take out Jux and Jane. Catharsis will res Sync, and now they're pushed down onto Heaven. Dalil is there. We'll pick off Jiro, Mochi onto C4. They'll go down and pop the Leer. Dalil's going to turn around because she knows that they do have B-side control. Now the question is, how does she link up? She will get the recon bolt and go for the snipe. Misses the shot though. Where is her help in the form of Moxilla? She's dead, and now has to decide what does she want to do. 12-9 on the scoreboard. Does she try and go for the 1v4 with full utility, or is she going to save that operator and see whether they can close it out in the next remaining rounds? It looks like she's going to save the operator and live to fight another day. Probably a good choice to keep that ult as well, because if next round they do pick up that someone's rushing through, she can use Hunter's Fury to lock down one of the alleys in conjunction with her operator, that is, of course. So they'll pick up that round, do M8Hexa, and that will give them good money coming into next round.
Yeah, it's the intelligent play for Sova, because Magnifique, they're sitting on match point. So I think they were like, we can just give up that round, and then we're just going to go all in on this round. They've got 3 ultimates, have the Resurrection from Sage, as you mentioned, the Hunter's Fury from Sova, as well as the Omen ultimate. So you definitely want to be bringing that $4,500 gun into the next round with you. And right now, still very even score, 12 and 10. However, M8Hexa know that they definitely have to win every single one of the next 3 rounds in order to take game 1.
Jane getting taken out very quickly on short A as Moxilla coming through. Attack offensive smokes pop on upper ramp, and now they'll come around the corner. But the rotation has happened. They'll keep one in the back, and that's going to be Sync. So she will hold that backstab angle and then possibly push through on Heaven and rotate to B if needed. But the remainder of the force is going to try and force down through mid. And here we go. There's nobody on B. They're holding it with Cypher's utility. But will that be enough? That's going to be the question. Now they're going to rotate back towards B. 3 of them. Sync gets taken out, so no backstab right there. And the utility from Cypher is definitely going to help. Jiro, very smart, puts a tripwire and a cyber cage on TT to top up that defensive smoke. Both tripwires down already, but they're surrounded now. Jukes will be dropped at B main. Here comes the wall. That's great. Jiro does have that backstab cam though, so it's a battle of the wits between these 2 Cyphers at the moment. And C4 is showing that he is at CT. Hellfire is put down on that corner, but it's not going to be they're not going to pick up anyone, so that's unfortunate there. Jiro and Katash is bringing up 2. And last one standing is Moxilla. So 1v3 right now. We'll drop 1 in the form of FG. Great work with that Vandal. Has 1 defensive smoke and is going to go up against 2 people. Jiro is very low on health. Just has to hit 1 shot. That's all he needs to get. And will get that kill. Now coming around the corner. We'll go for that fake defuse or at least try to make it to the halfway mark. No, she's going to go for the full. And Mochi's going to come around the corner and take out Moxilla. I don't know how they would have worked out if you went for the half and tried to go for the kill, because Mox came through. But it's a coulda, woulda, shoulda, you know, situation. You never know how that kind of could have worked out.
Yeah, I thought that she was going to go for the half as well. I was really surprised when she didn't actually turn around once it reached the halfway mark. But yeah, tensions, nerves, all running high. M8Hexa able to pick up that round to almost even things out. 11 and 12. Magnifique, of course, is still on match point. M8Hexa only need to win the next 2 rounds to take game 1 home. Looks like Magnifique once again going to start with a very split up. My bad. M8Hexa once again with the very split up start. Sage as well is going to come up right here, but Jane boosting herself to the top only to get shot down right after that. So M8Hexa off to a great start, being able to take out the healer from Magnifique, make things a 5v4. Also this time they switched things up. They've got the spike onto their Phoenix instead of their Sage, which they've had for pretty much all of their attacker side of rounds so far. Looks like they're going to 3-man storm A while they have Reyna to try and get some extra intel and control over in mid. Moxilla going to go down, and with that, Magnifique going to just not have a lot of time to really try and take back site A. You can see they're very split up. M8Hexa haven't got control of site A to begin with, plus all 5 members alive. This means that they've got absolute control over site A, ending that round flawless. Whew, 12 in all. This is it. 24 rounds and it all comes down to round number 25.
So the question now is, what is the rule set? And it seems like it is going to be a draw. So there is no overtime, and oh no, it's sudden death, but there's no reset on economy. Or is there?
I don't think
Yeah,
there was.
I guess
Usually in sudden death there is. I don't think there was.
I'm not sure. I didn't see the.
Yeah,
I didn't see the credits. But nonetheless, we will continue. It is sudden death, so let's see. Cypher setup gonna be soloing B as usual, and the fight between the cameras will continue. Sync coming through. We'll drop that camera now, and they're going to hold mid pretty well. Looks like they're stacking, though. Our M8Hexa stacking down on mid. The offensive smokes will pop now. They'll put the fire onto Zip as well, and it's going to be all up to Jane. Can she hold that? She'll put a slow off down to slow them out a bit. Jane will drop Mochi. Catharsis will take out Jane in reply. C4 with a follow-up on Sync. Jiro onto Jux. And all of that happening at mid connector. Now the question is, where's Moxilla? She's right on zipline. Has the molly. Spots them coming down. Will pick up a double. That's the spike. And now has the molly. That's going to slow as well. She's going to go up the zip line, but way too slow. Almost escapes. And Jiro, the last woman standing, 15 health. 1 tripwire, 1 cyber. 17 bullets on that Phantom. 24 seconds to go. Dalil will drop her. And that's 13-12 in favor of Magnifique. Well played game. I think first sudden death of the tournament that we've had so far, or at least that we've had on cast so far, and definitely that was a very entertaining match.
Yeah, I think we got word from production as well, so the tournament rules is the reset to 5,000.
Yeah.
Yep, 5,000 credits at the start, so it's more or less full buy for everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much full buy, but what a close game. I mean, Magnifique just barely managing to eke that one out, 13-12 at the end. Magnifique, of course, is the Thailand squad. M8Hexa, Malaysian and Singaporean girls joining together to form one team. But I'm excited. I think that we're in for probably a very close series if that game 1 is anything to judge by.
Yeah, I mean, the games are definitely going to be a lot closer now with the knockouts, especially after round robin. So these goals definitely were, they topped their groups at coming in. So it is definitely an acknowledgement of skill. And just want to give a big shout out to our sponsors, Dreamcore, Yahoo, and of course, let's see if I can remember one more, which is Super Solid. So we're going to go to a short break. We'll be back with map 2 of this series, and hope you are entertained, get hydrated, grab a couple snacks, and we'll see you in a bit.
All right, guys, we're about to get into game number 2 of our second best of 3 series in the knockout stages of the Female Esports League Asia Pacific. First, Valorant Open between M8Hexa, a Malaysian Singaporean team, versus a team Magnifique from Thailand. After they had already picked up that very close game 1 victory.
It was definitely a great match to cast. It was pretty exciting as well. Very good use of utility and skills. So they're really showing everyone how to use your agents very efficiently. Also very good management of economy that we saw. And also good display of, when to use a fake defuse, when to go for the half defuse. How do you counter someone who's trying to do that fake, and really how do you really work together to go for the rotates and the retakes rather, and when you should rotate and counter rotate. So we're into the second map. Like you said, it is Ascent, and
yep, we've got Magnifique over on the defensive side, over on the left, starting out for this game. Meanwhile, T side, it's going to be M8Hexa on the red. Once again, giving their Sage the spike. We talked a bit about this yesterday, but Sage is just one of those perfect agents that you want to give the spike over to, just because her general playstyle. She sits in the back. She doesn't rush the front line, just so she has the wall, the heal up and available. So it makes her the perfect type of agent to also hold spike, although you don't want to do that too many times in a row. Then you get to be a bit predictable. But yep, we are into round number 1.
Cage trigger.
it's interesting. So they will pop that cyber cage, and it's going to show them that there is a huge push onto main. Moxilla's right on top. Will pick up a double. Jiro onto C4 at Hell, so she goes down. And Jux will come around the corner. So that wall, even though it blocked off The short push onto Dora didn't really help them out because Moxilla, just such a beast on Heaven with that Ghost, was able to pick up 3 and do enough for the remainder of Magnifique to rotate in and help out.
Yeah, I blocked off the tree side. Thing is, usually on Ascent, you might you usually have about a 2-1-2. So you have one person around the courtyard catwalk area, and then you have someone either back of side Heaven on A, and then you have someone watching the short side over at a tree. So really blocking off the tree side does help a bit, but as you mentioned, just absolutely beastly play from Magnifique bags them that round number 1.
Good blind on high mid now as Dalil tries to go for a long range volley of shots with that Spectre, and she is going to come out on the losing side of that, but we'll have that heal. And we are early into the round, so 40 seconds to go for that heal to be recharged by Jane. And Mochi will drop 1. Will get dropped, sorry. Jane will drop 1, drop the double. Tries to go for a triple. And Catharsis will lose a little bit of health, but will pick up that kill.
Yeah.
And now we see Jalil come through on sync. We'll pick up a double in mid. And so the last remaining person is none other than...
Catharsis does get a headshot, but it is still a 1v3 situation. The good thing is she does have a spike. She's looking to try and make it into B, although all 3 members of Magnifique kind of have her number right here. They're all watching the site. If she peeks, this might be it. Oh, Smoke's gonna come out. She's gonna have to watch Market, and Yeb gets a shot. I believe it was from Market. Was where? She got taken out from, so not all that much you could really do in that situation, especially once the smokes from Omen came out at that point in time. It's gonna make it a 2-0 in favor of Magnifique for this round. Very aggressive start from the Sage. We saw her pushing on the defense. Did net her a double kill, almost the triple kill as well. Very aggressive play, but did pay off.
Camera down on high, mid, and the defensive smokes and the offensive smokes blocking vision. Now we'll see the Lear come through as Sync tries to displace anyone who's down there. We'll pop up another flare, that's good. We'll block off CT as well as Market, but now that's going to be gone. Jiro with the one-place headshot onto the Phantom, onto Jux at Catwalk, and now that's going to open an avenue, but it's going to be a massive battle here. Stim Beacon goes down, Delay will pick up a double, and now they're going to go for the third woman, which will be Mochi, but Mochi says not today. Drops Jane in reply, and FG, who was in the backline, will get taken out by C4 as he tries to push down Catwalk. Now Zero coming around the corner will take out Moxilla. Knows there's one in Market, and Dalil will not go down because Mochi's going to come around the corner though as she got that intel. She'll pick up the spike and try and figure out where to go. She doesn't know where C4 is at the moment. She knew that she knew earlier that she was at spawn, but they'll see each other at mid, and unfortunately Mochi, low on health, will not be able to survive more than one shot from C4, and they'll pick up that round. So Magnifique off to a good start here on Ascent. They'll definitely have money situation on their side, and they've gone for that operator early on. So Dalil is going to hold mid, and let's see whether she can do it successfully.
Yeah, M8Hexa, I think, opting to go eco again for this round. Yep, pistols all across the board. 2 ghosts, 2 sheriff, and 1 classic by the Cypher are going to hope to get the they will have full buy credits in the next one, but I mean this round, you know, they can't afford to go down 0 and 4 at this point. They are up against operators and superior firepower from the side of Magnifique. So pretty much this round, M8Hexa, they're going to try and get as much as they can, hopefully get the extra 300 credits from a spike plant as well. But if they lose this round, it's not terrible for them just yet.
Dalil with the Ollie opening kill onto high mid, so that's good. Spike on Sage. And that's Catharsis. She's slowly making her way through. Delil through the wall onto... Where is that? It's onto mid link. Also sometimes called second mid. And will now start to rotate. So they know that there's a pretty sizable bunch of people on the B side. That Recombo is going to pick up a lot of them if they do show. Blind coming through on second mid. And they're going to use that just to move through. They have to be careful now. Delay watching mid. Let's see what he's gonna get. He sees the camera. He gets dart is on him, so he's gonna try and remove the dart. But then they're going to make use that to their advantage and push through. Catharsis is going to be there with the ghost. Heals up her mate. They do have the spike, but because of that wall, well-placed wall, they're going to be unable to plant the spike. So that's unfortunate, but they'll recover an operator. So that's something that they can look forward to using in the next round. 4-0 on the scoreboard. They did equal that round, so I have to say that's a pretty decent result, getting 2 kills and, of course, that operator.
Yeah, that's absolutely huge. That is actually way better than getting spike money down, because your spike credits, you're only going to get 300 for the plant. That operator, that's worth 4,500 credits. You can see instantly taking it to the next round also with that. Their eco situation is pretty good as well. I think Sage came into this round with something like 6,500 credits, dropped the operator for her teammate. So this is going to be the round that M8Hexa hope will start to turn things around. If they lose this one, though, it would be big. Trips to the trap wire, so they do know where the Phoenix currently is at this point. Gets popped back to his original location. Cypher ult being used to get information of every single member on the enemy team, and huge push coming into side A right now. Cypher Cage is going down as well. Wall to block off the armored door right there into a tree. M8Hexa just waiting for this brimstone smokes to clear so you can get a good angle on this. Omen wants to get onto the site. Throws the smokes down. Oh, doesn't quite make that in time. It's a 1v3 right now. Spike clock is still ticking, and the attackers manage to take this one. Trips the trap wire at the end. It doesn't matter at that point, but yeah, they get the team wipe and the round.
Bit of miscommunication on the retake right there. They actually managed to get through 2 onto Heaven, and then as they try to get onto the site, they decided to use utility instead of actually getting the 2 kills. Jane could have picked up a double right there, or at least picked up 1 and then gone for the ninja defuse, and it didn't work out. So, like you said, 4-1 on the scoreboard. They're gonna have to go for an eco, and they will go for a sheriff eco to hold those sites. So if they get 1 or 2 kills, they'll be happy about that straight away. Oh, Jane will come around the corner and get that headshot on Mochi. So they'll pick up a Vandal. Already looking pretty good for them. Can she pick up a second? She'll pick up a second. That's great. Sync onto Moxilla down on second mid. She'll get a triple. Goes for the quad. And now, time for the piece de la resistance. Doesn't get it because Sync is way too far away, but Jux will finish the last remaining member off. So that is an amazing eco. They'll get that Vandal. They'll get the Vandal. They'll be able to buy their operator for Dalil to hold mid as usual. And they'll be on a very nice side for credits.
Yeah, MVP going to Jane for sure. That round, getting that very good initial headshot with the Sheriff. As we said, the Sheriff does have a lethal headshot damage even through heavy armor at the start, and then was able to pick up her opponent's Vandal to pick up the extra 3 kills. So very nicely done. Slow up him out. Doesn't do all that much though.
Prepare for hellfire.
Snake going to get the the overheal, but it's not going to be enough. Gets taken out instantly by C444 on the Cypher. Now he's just trying to shoot through the Cypher cage. Does give a bit of extra time for the reload. You always want to do that reloading in a safe spot where you're sure that you're not going to instantly get into a skirmish after that. Is very low on health right now. Super lit up, 33 health. Running straight to site A with the knife. Of course, running with the knife out does give you faster speed than it does if you had the gun. However, you don't actually jump higher. I feel like the way that you run with the knife out makes you feel like you should have a bit more height on your jumping, but it doesn't work like that. You only run a bit faster. Just a bit crucial to know. Trying to make it away from the bomb site, but yeah, that's gonna be it. They do get the successful detonation on the spike timer to make it a 5-2.
Yeah, I mean, in general, like vertical jumping in Valorant is very, very reduced. Potentially, maybe if they increase that in the future, it'd be interesting because there's a couple of avenues of movement where you're just completely blocked off because of the jump height. So, for example, here, if you were able to jump in the mid courtyard up onto high mid, that would make such a huge difference for like rotations and pushes. Maybe something to review in the future if they look at it. It would actually put a huge change in the game.
There's actually a little trick that you can use when you jump. I think it's not quite a double jump, but I think if you jump and then while pressing down, I can't remember which key, it is, you get a very slight boost. So it helps you in, say, on bind in hookah when you're trying to get not the box into the hookah window, but actually the box right at the hookah entrance. The large one, you can actually use that to get onto that in one jump. It's only a very slight difference. Very small trick. Sage now hiding behind the wall. 3v4 at this point. Sage once again with the spike. Gonna get shot down from Catwalk. Resurrection coming out to make this a 4v3. Magnifique Sage does have her resurrection up as well. Opts instead not to use it just yet. Getting that nice headshot. While blind. Very nicely done. Overviews another trap wire. Just tells instantly to the Cypher that he knows where he is. Cypher goes for the very easy kill pickup right now. It's just down to a 3v2. Jane finally making her way into the site just as the Cypher cage goes down, as well as the door. She's gonna try to go through heaven instead. Makes it through the window, but because of the window breaking sound, M8Hexa are going to know that she is here. What can this duo of her and Silva do right now? Whew. Got the one kill through a main, which was nicely done, but then there are two more members on the team sitting around Spike. Not sure if there was really much more that they could do at that point. What do you think?
Probably the better play right there because who was it?
I mean, the armored door went down, and then there was the cyber cage as well.
But Jiro popped that cyber cage to reposition it herself towards the corner of that door, right? So because of that visual shield, what maybe would have been the better play would be to take down the door while the cyber cage is up. But we're gonna go back into the game because an ult is popped by Mochi to push in very, very aggressively. She goes down to that sheriff, but they'll come in and they'll know exactly where the C4 is. They'll close the door now, and Flame will be up on heaven. Jokes though, before the door completely closes, we'll get the kill on Mochi, and now they're gonna break that door down as quickly as possible so that they can actually contest from different sides. FG will pick up one with a headshot. The spike is down now, but it seems like there's a bit of panic among the ranks of Magnifique at the moment because of that flurry of firing. Now they start to recompose themselves. Maxilla just trying to distract as much as possible. We'll get one kill now as Jane comes around the corner. She'll get taken out. Dalil though, Hunter's Fury, and I think she pressed the wrong button on the ult. So that's gonna be her gone, and Sync will come around the corner and drop Maxilla. But yeah, that previous round, what probably would have been a better play is drop the door while that cyber cage was up. So she wouldn't have had to worry about she wouldn't have had to worry about being taken out, and then they could have pushed Heaven and Door at the same time in that 3v2.
Yeah, and I think like what you were saying, probably a misclick. You can see in
Yeah.
the party chat, the chat over on the screen. Definitely did look like an unfortunate misclick. That happened to me once, I think the first week when I was playing Valorant, because Sova is the agent that you use to make it through training. When you do download the game, I remember I pulled out my bow once when the enemy brought a gun, and you know, you don't want to bring a bow to a gunfight. I think Eris, one of the other FPS casters, was like, "What are you trying to do? You think you're Legolas from Lord of the Rings?"
I think the thing is, when a lot of people play this game for the first time, they actually think that Sova works exactly like Hanzo from Overwatch. So they think that if they don't read up and look at the mechanics of the ult, they actually think that it's kind of exactly how it works in Overwatch, where you just blast it off and then it's an ultimate that kills anything in its way. But until you actually use the ult and learn how to use it, then you realize that it's a three-phase kind of use. So Sync is going to drop Dalil in the middle and get that mid control. Flame on to CT, and they're a bit all over the place, wishy-washy at the moment.
Yeah, not the most decisive of plays. You can see the armor door has gone down, so it is hard. They definitely won't be able to make it through to A from that position. Cypher was used to get a good read on where everyone from M8Hexa currently is. Managed to get a good kill onto the spike carrier over onto Heaven, and yep, with that, defenders are going to be able to pick that one up. Very clutch. C44 down to actually 7 health, but it does work out.
6-4 on the scoreboard in favor of Magnifique right now. Do remember that Magnifique won in sudden death on Split in the previous map, so they're on track to a pretty good lead right now. But not to discount M8 Hexa. Still plenty of time to go, and they're going to be pretty happy with 4 rounds right now. If they can pick up any of the remaining rounds, if they pick that up, they're going to be even happier. And let's see how it turns out. 2 tripwires on that A side to watch that backstab. And we'll see Sync slowly make her way through. She does have those layers, but they're going to hold very, very defensively right now.
Very slow push onto side A. Wall coming down, instantly checking out the right corner. Takes the trapwire, but gets shot down straight away from Heaven, and that's going to be spiked down once again. This A push hasn't been working out for M8Hexa lately, and with that, Magnifique have vision onto Spike. You can see, oh, Hellfire coming down. Just going to zone out a bit on the side. Just gonna catch up Cypher. Just gonna freeze him there for a bit, but no big. Jane right now taking her time trying to get there, and yep, Brimstone last a person left alive, but not for much longer. Magnifique are going to take that one with the team wipe, making it 7-4 going into the last round before the swap.
You know, M8Hexa are what I like about the couple rounds that they're picking up right now is they've realized that they cannot take on Dalil on mid if they don't have proper utility, because Dalil is just doing such a good job with the operator. So what they're doing is now they're splitting in between B and A, and they always have someone on the back just to kind of keep Daniel guessing, and then once they start to push in, they'll take out the Daniel or Dalil as she tries to rotate. So great work from them. We're gonna go over now. Mochi gonna pick up that orb. A bit of a misplay for the wall. I think she wanted to
get the sneaky boost up onto
yeah,
the
she wanted
window
the
at the
sneaky
top.
boost.
Yeah.
So that's gonna show them that there is someone there. They'll close the market door. Flash comes through, but there is a wall. They'll break it down. She has one more flash recon bolt coming through, so they'll know that there's one at CT and one at the corner. She'll reposition onto the side, back of B, and the smokes will go down. While all of this was happening, about 4 to 5 kills happened onto that CT side as they broke through Catwalk. And now the question is, it's all down to Jane. Can she pick up one more round to make it a slightly more comfortable rotation over when they switch sides? So she'll get that long-range headshot with that Phantom, and it's all up to her right now.
Yep, 1v2. Bit of a bad situation to be in. Just going to have to... Oh no! Looks the wrong way! I mean, at that point, you know, it's a 50-50 if you're going to go into the back of a site. Whether they're on the left or on the right. Usually you have someone back of site and then another one watching the corridor coming out of a wine. Just to make sure, especially if it's a 1v2. But just chose the wrong 50-50, so wasn't able to get another kill. But it's going to mean that this is now a 7 and 5. Also going back off of the wall boost earlier, actually pretty much right where Catharsis is. To the right of this, there's a very high window. If you're on the attacking side, which is just to the right of this wall, if you're coming through there, if you use the Sage wall on top of the boxes where the alt orb is, it gives you a very nice boost over to the high graded windows. And from there, you can actually see pretty much the entirety of Site B, and you can get some very good picks and vision from that spot. Smokes coming in, some warning shots going down. They do pick up a 1 right now, so it'll be a 4v4, and with that pickup kill, they are going to try and storm site A. However, they'll have to shoot through the armored door window as well. Being broken over in Heavens, and Caster Reload very low on health, isn't going to be able to get the heal down because doesn't get a kill first. Maxilla as well, just 6 health down, gets shot straight from Heaven, but C4 with that very nice return kill. Smokes going down, spike has been planted. Right now it's a 2v2. Neither side really able to see what's going on. Don't know where they are, but it's Sova versus Sage as well as Brimstone goes down. And right now Sage, last person left alive, is going to be able to get the very easy defuse. Team wipe and then defuse. So is the way to go, but very messy skirmish at the end of that one.
Yeah, Catharsis played it exactly how you'd want to do it. She broke down the door, so that gave FG some distraction, and then she was just basically blind shooting to put doubt into the head of M8Hexa as they were trying to push through. So really helped FG as she tried to come as she was taking on everyone from Heaven, and then came in to mop up the last remaining few players on the bottom of site. So we'll see the eco coming through now on the attack, and they're going to slow walk it into A. Jane's already getting ready to go. I don't know why you want to put her up in front, but I guess she is on form today.
Yeah, also, I mean, she's only got 1 out of 7 of her ult points. She dies, she gets another. That might be the strategy. But she does make it into sight. You can see the door being closed. Has to 1v1 the Reyna, though, but Reyna does get taken out by the rest of her team. Use the heal. It's going to be a long 45-second cooldown. Her teammate does manage to put the spike down. However, it's absolute bloodbath over in the back of a site, and 3 members from M8Hexa are going to make this one happen once again. Bloodbath over in site A, and it doesn't work out for Magnifique. It means that M8Hexa will tie this one 7 and all.
The bigger thing is having that Sage in the back line is very important, because the wall and the slow, the slow and the heal are quite pivotal in B and A, especially on the side. Walling off once you close the doors, walling off any of the other entrances slows down the rotation so much. It slows down the retake so much, the slow ops as well. And like, let's say on A, once you close the door and you put someone on long to defend, then you wall off Heaven. You can't do anything. You're just basically, you know, funneling them to the game you want to play. But now we'll have the buy, and they'll push A once again. Jane leading the charge, and she will get that entry frag onto Sync. Jux will drop Mochi. They'll close the door. They'll get that spike down, and now triple rotation coming through. Coming through from Magnifique. FG up top once again at Heaven has that Molly. She will pop that, but Jane coming around the corner, 22 damage, 22 health left. Jux with the Phantom will drop Catharsis right on lower, and Dalir from long with that Vandal. Well placed headshot onto Jiro. 8-7, still even Steven, and on the money count. Magnifique seems like they have to go eco.
Yeah, and also because we're into game number 2, and I think it is very even in terms of 8 and 7. However, the more important thing is if M8Hexa lose this game, they also lose the series, and then they're knocked out of the FSL Valorant Open. So I think just in terms of that mentality, Magnifique definitely have the easier time going into this one, because for them this would just be game 2. They know that they can take a couple of rounds. They will take the entire series.
Oh, here comes the counter boost. That is so amazing.
Oh, no.
But the orbital strike comes through, so the counter boost is amazing. They get the 3 up there, but the orbital strike by FG just spot on, picks up that triple, and it's going to be it's going to be a bad day at the office right now for the remainder of the team.
Yep, 2v3. Gonna use the recon bolt. Try and get a bit of information shot through the door. Goes down. It's right now just Sova left alive. Gets the good kill onto Cypher to make this a 1 versus 1 situation.
Ace
Brimstone,
or
he's
kick.
at a
Ace or
tree.
kick.
Oh no, he's so low though.
Ace
Combat
or
still
kick.
not gonna help him. Oh, he
Ace
has the
or
smoke.
kick.
Woo!
Ace or kick.
Woo!
Gets the ace with gets the triple, and then the follow up with the Vandal. Or perfect orbital strike when Magnifique thought they had a really good boost, counter boost.
The confidence to just stand right in the middle of that archway with your sight aimed onto their head if they show up to bag you that team ace. Whew, that's exactly what we like to see.
They've got nerve.
8-8, and right now full buys from both sides. If Magnifique drop this round, their economy is broken. But let's see how they go. Camera up on mid, Molly onto second mid. Recon Bolt will be destroyed, so not a lot of info going the way of Hexa right now. And they're definitely going to trip some of these wires on mid.
Molly going down into side B. It looks like T side has picked a side, but they've only got 2 members left. They do have the spike, however, so Cypher going to take out Sova. Last person still left alive is Maxilla. He's already on to side B, but it is a 1v3 situation, and the rest of M8Hexa know what's up. They know he's here. Bags a 1 kill is going to make this a 1v2 right now versus the Sage. And the Cypher, oh, he's going to get backstep from the back, though. Sage from the front, Cypher from the back. Valiant effort, but just wasn't quite able to make that happen at the end. But overall, a really good try. Remember, guys, whoever wins this best of 3 series is going to go straight to our grand final later in the day of the very first season of the Female Esports League Asia Pacific Valorant Open. Stakes are high. Magnifique just need to win another 5 rounds before they make it to that final. M8Hexa need to take 4 rounds and then a whole other game after this.
Jane needs to stay back because she has res, and if she doesn't stay back, it's going to be a big waste. So yeah, she gets the memo, and she will stay back. They'll close the door, and they'll use the camera to spot Brim at mid. So they know FG is right there. They know someone's a catwalk because they closed the door. So now Jane coming around, but she's all alone. If she doesn't get this frag, it's going to be unfortunate. Luckily for her, she does, and she does so flawlessly. They'll go right straight into the sight. Jane will pick up a double. So Jiro goes down, and she's going to go on the hunt. Why not, right, when you have that much confidence? She sees a third, she gets a third.
Woo!
And now she'll want to go for the fourth. Spike has been planted. She'll heal herself up. She has no armor, but the last one standing is coming through catwalk. That's FG. And FG will get the better of her. Will pick up one, but not enough because the stim beacon is down, and Jux will just have enough power to power through. And that's going to be 9-9 on the scoreboard, even Steven. And now the question is for Magnifique. Do they go for the eco? Do they go for the force buy? What do they want to do? And it seems like they're going to go for full armor eco, either that or frenzy armor, and maybe do a bit of an aggressive push. It looks like they are. It seems like they want to set up for a surprise push, but they just let's just
Yeah, I
scroll
think
through
they're
their
prioritizing full by next
Ghost,
round.
Ghost, Phantom, Spectre. So force buy, half force. 3 out of 2 members force buy with full shields on everyone. So they will be broke as heck
Yikes.
if they lose this round.
Whew. Just say that and
Jane,
gets taken out.
20 bomb with that kill.
Yeah, it's kind of there are 2 types of Sage players, right? One type is the Jane type, where you stack your ult points by just racking up those kills, and that's how you maximize your efficiency as a Sage in terms of constantly having your resurrection up more often. Or you play the more safe style of Sage in the back with the spike. We all know which type Jane is right now. Flash gonna come in from Phoenix onto side. Let's see the push. As finally here is 3v4. Brimstone with the spike. Mochi laying down the flame wall as well as the smoke. So much utility being laid out. Doesn't find the shot onto the Cypher. And Tacker side is going to take this one. Just very messy skirmish onto the side. We saw the flame wall. We saw Cypher as well as the Omen smokes as well, just to make it very hard to shoot through all of those skills.
Yeah, so we have to manually scroll through to see what their setup is. But yeah, they are super broke, and they're gonna go full shields and a Spectre buy. They did get a bit of money, extra money from getting those couple of kills that last round. Would have been preferable for them to eco. But nonetheless, they're going to try and force it, and Catharsis will pick up a double, so it looks like it's paying off so far. Picks up one more, so that's a double. And Jux will come around the back on B, so they would have cleared B out. Catharsis with a triple now on C4. Will res Jiro, who was the bait. And the last 2 remaining members on attack are Jux. He'll trip the tripwire. Or activate the tripwire rather, close the door on market. Cypher ult's coming out, so they'll know exactly where everyone is. And here comes the orb. That's actually a pretty good overdose strike, just a bit too close, and she couldn't do it any closer because she was so far away. But Jux will pick up 1, 0 onto Jux, and now Moxilla against 2.
Yeah, has the initial position over in the back of side. Does look like claps coming in from Sage and Cypher. However, Cypher over on the right side, trying to get a good position. Knows where the spike is. Oh, instant shot onto Moxilla right in the boathouse. That's gotta hurt. 2v1 situation, always a bit difficult at that point in time. Yes, you are in the boathouse, which is one of the more easily defended spots in terms of, especially when you compare it to some of the other sites. If you're defending 1v2 on some other maps, it's almost impossible to try and do that one yourself. Boathouse isn't the worst, but it's still not the easiest to pull that one off. So once again, we find ourselves at 10 and all. Magnifique just 3 rounds away from punching the ticket through to the grand finals.
No operators right now, which is interesting to note. So they're not very confident on their long-range hold. The Lil also didn't want to doesn't want to operate it. So that's quite curious. Recon Bolt, sorry, the Recon drone or the Owl drone rather, able to pop the bolt onto one. So they'll know where. They'll know that there's someone at market. Now, Omen, in the form of Jukes, pushing through on B main. She does know that there's definitely for sure a tripwire somewhere there, and she's being careful. And FG in mid will spot one.
Yeah, you actually have to be so close to the trapwire to be able to hear the buzz. It's something like just a few meters before the hum comes out. And right now, smoke's going to go down at the armored door. Spikes planted as well. Window being broken. 4v3, so pretty even for now. Make that 4v2. Jane with the self-heal. Omen does go down. Onus is on Brimstone and Cypher right now. Cypher over in heaven. We have to try and make something happen at this point, but there's such a good hold onto the site location. Yep, he gets just shot down straight from heaven. Pretty difficult, I think, for M8Hexa in that situation. Magnifique just took absolute control of the site to begin with, got the spike planted, and for site A, if you have about 3 or so members, that's pretty much every entrance that you have that will be very well covered. It makes the retake very hard. It's just what we saw.
The advantage that Hexa have now, or M8Hexa rather, have now is they have 4 ults. So they do have a backstab telly ready to go if they want. They have a Hunter's Fury that can take down any of the angles. They have a Res. They have Orbital Strike that can reposition. And they also have Cypher ult once they manage to dock one. So here comes the backstab ult. Get some information on B. Knows there's only one on site. And it's very curious that they don't want to rotate. So they're going to see. I think they're going to try and see whether Jane can get an entry frag. If she does, they'll flood into A. If not, maybe rotate over to B. Because they've left the spike up at connector.
That's a bit risky, but they are going to play this one a bit more measured. Ooh, they do get vision of the Cypher, though. Nice smokes. And the ultimate out to zone. The armored door is going to go down. So Magnifique doing a good job so far of trying to secure site A. They do lose 1 over in heaven, however, to the Reyna. However, Reyna only has Brimstone on her side. It's a 2v4, and once again they're in the unenviable spot of trying to take back site A from the attacking side. Will shoot down the wall, but they do know that she's in heaven right now after she's revealed her location. She's the last one left. Can she do anything? Already down to 67 health. It looks like she wants to try and make a run for it. Knows that she's probably not going to have much time to go for it. The diffuse looks to be saving her $2,900 gun. Sage is trying to hunt her though. Whew. And that kill from Catwalk right across mid means that M8Hexa are in a very bad spot. They weren't even able to take the Vandal into the next round with them. Kind of aggressive. Reno was trying to get some exit frags out of site A, but what happened was she got picked off instead. So right now it's going to be match point and a game point for Magnifique. Things down to the wire for M8.
Yeah, well, they're on Force Buy right now. They're on Spectre. Spectre half shields and 1 Ares. So very, very hard for them. And of course, M8Hexa know that they can just flood into any bomb site right now with the superior firepower and just end it. So they were stacking up for a 5-woman push onto B, but Sync now on mid will drop 1. Moxilla with a reply kill onto V. FG. Exactly. Cypher ult now from C4. Not from C4. From C4 actually. Will show them that the rotations are at Catwalk and, of course, at Heaven. They'll get the spike down now, and C4 will hold that backstab side. She'll probably put a camera up pretty soon. Jiro just waiting for backup. Mochi coming through on door. They're going to want to break that door, and now the slow up coming through, so that's going to help her out. On Heaven, Catharsis comes around the corner, drops one. C4 with a double. Jiro trying her best to spray down on long. Will pick up one. So there is still hope. Last one standing is Moxilla. How does she play this? Great cage to block the vision. But instead of going for the full defuse, goes for the fake, and now they're losing time. There is very, very little margin of error, but luckily for them, they got half the defuse down before they went to go and hunt. And that could have gone very, very wrong if Moxilla was a bit more aggressive. 12-11, and they have a better money situation now, so they can contest and bring it to sudden death. So there is yet still hope for a Magnifique in this game.
What a close game. We're down to the last 1 or 2 single rounds. Could decide who makes it through to the first ever finals. Here we are.
Oh no. Oh no, no. She can't die.
Tell us more.
If Jane dies, Magnifique take this round. So Mochi will drop Jux. Dalil onto Mochi. Jane coming on the corner. FG takes out Jane. And there goes the res. See you later. Bye-bye. C4 and Moxilla, last 2 standing. They do have full utility at the moment. C4 rotating around the corner now. FG has Orbital Strike. They also have Empress. They also have Cypher Ult. But they do not have the Phoenix ult, as she has been taken down early on in the round. 49 seconds left on the clock. Hammer down on mid. That's going to give them all the information they need. C4 onto Sync. FG onto Moxilla. That's going to be a triple now. And last one standing is none other than C4. Has a Phantom, 72 health, no shields. Going to go up head-to-head against someone who has a triples. Spy Cam going to drop him. And as we predicted, goes to a Magnifique, and they will force it to sudden death.
Ooh. I mean, we were expecting close games, but this is as close as it gets. Both Game 1 and Game 2 going to 25 rounds. Also, I don't think you viewers can see it here, but Phil is so visibly tilted whenever the round starts and he sees Jane pushing on the mini-map.
I'm not tilted, it's just I'm very disappointed at these stages when you're coming down to a pressure situation and you have res, which is basically a get-out-of-jail-free card for any of your teammates. And what we've seen yesterday is a lot of the Sages, when they have res, for some reason have decided to go super aggro at that exact moment when they needed to keep it.
Yeah, she's gonna be kicking herself right here if they do eventually lose this round, because as of the reset, you don't have your ultimates any longer. So if she hadn't pushed up ahead, she could have potentially tried to make something happen. With that, we are into our sudden death round. Brimstone sneakily hitting round through Heaven. Does lay the smokes down. Push coming through over at a tree. Molly being laid down as long as the combat stim as well, but only 2 members on the side of M8Hexa still alive. Can they try and defend this? Catharsis trying to shoot down the armor wall. Spike planted as well. 3v1. Can M8Hexa make this happen? This is the last hope for her team if they want to make it to that Game 3 and tonight's finals. And whew, attackers going to pick that one up. GG to Magnifique. They're going to take the sudden death round, take that Game 2 win, which means they're 2-0 in the knockout best of 3, and they're going to be the first team making it through to our first ever finals of the FSL Valorant Open. Congrats.
Yeah, I mean, they played it well, and they, at the pivotal moments, knew what they had to do. They executed it very, very smartly and diligently, and that is what makes champions as you get into the knockout stages. So every little small mistake does add up when you are in these high level, high skill, high pressure situations, and it is not forgiving. A single round can off put your team. A single mistake can cost you the game, and in that game we saw what happened, and it's a recurring theme. So I'm not sure whether um, whether it's just a super bad habit, or we've just coincidentally or unfortunately it's been happening over and over. But those aggressive Sage plays definitely, like when you're 1 or 2 rounds away from winning or losing,
Mm-hmm.
make a huge difference.
Yep, hopefully we won't see as much of that in the finals. I mean, Sage is pretty much, if you're going to pick an agent for any team in competitive, we've talked a bit about 3 core, 4 core in terms of
Mm.
agents, but if there's just 1 core on the team, it's got to be Sage.
Yeah.
So you would expect that a lot of the players coming into competitive would have that type of restraint and know the limits of
You
how
have
the
to be
player.
adaptable. That's the thing, right? You
Mm-hmm.
need to you can be. No one says you can't be an aggressive Sage, right? No one says you can't be an aggressive support hero, but you need to know the limits of your hero, and you need to know the limits of what agent needs to do to what your agent needs to do at certain times, and when you need to kind of slow down, when you need to
Mm-hmm.
not be so aggressive, and then when you need to turn on the heat. And that's something that both these teams will learn definitely from this game.
Mm-hmm.
And as they head into the next match, that's going to be pretty interesting, and that's going to be Magnifique versus Celeste.
Yep, we did get word that Celeste also won their best of 3 series at 2-0. So it means that our grand finals are going to be Magnifique from Thailand going up against Team Celeste, who are made up of 4 Indonesian players as well as 1 Malaysian player. We'd like to take this opportunity to once again thank our sponsors, Dreamcourt, Super Solid, as well as Yahoo, without which this season of FSL Valorant Open would not have been possible. With that, guys, we're going to go for a short break while both these teams kind of do a little mental reset before they head into the grand finals,
Yeah.
and also do the coin toss as well as the side picks and the map picks. But you definitely don't want to miss the finals of the FSL Valorant Open. So we'll go for a short break, and we'll see you in just a bit.